Happy to Be Here is brought to you in sponsorship with Delicious Hamburgers. Did you know Delicious Hamburgers and Fries are the freshest in Spokane? That's a fact. Delicious Hamburgers have never been frozen, and that's because it tastes better that way. Think about it. There's not even a freezer in the restaurant. What? Delicious fries are always made to order and never sit under a heat lamp. When you order them, they cook them, you eat them. That's how it works. It's differences like this that you can truly taste. Next time you're craving the freshest hamburger and fries, head to the corner of Augusta and Division and ask for the Happy to Be Here combo, okay? You're gonna wanna get that. A delicious double hamburger with grilled onions, pickles, and a special sauce, baby. It also comes with fries and your choice of a milkshake. That's what makes us unique. F your Sprite. Delicious. Taste the difference. Just wrapped up an amazing podcast with Blake Braley, man. We talked about this man's childhood, his youth, growing into a young teenager, and beyond, how all this transformed into this dude just dropping some of the most soulful, beautiful music coming out of Spokane, Washington. Please go down to Zola's 9 to midnight on Saturdays. Check him out live, doing all sorts of funky shit. And go check out his new single, Starting Over, on Spotify, Apple Music, and all other platforms, out now. I love you guys. I can't wait for you guys to check this episode out. Peace.
Yo, I'm just happy to be here.
I challenge everybody that listens to this to get out of your shell and go do something new and fun.
Happy to be here.
Like they just slow motion.
Do you see Zach trying to pretend like he doesn't watch cake sitting videos?
Happy to be here.
There to exorcise the demons.
So your swan man is
Our Schwan delivery man that brought us bomb pops and chicken nuggets is there to perform an exorcism.
This needs to be made into a short
You
film.
couldn't make this shit up.
Yo, I'm just happy to be here.
What is up, beautiful people of the world? My name is ExZac Change, and I'm happy to be here today with my colleague and perfect Cody.
What up?
Mr. Producer Man, Brennan Pointer.
Hello.
Spokecast. And my guest, Blake Braley.
What's good?
Dude, welcome back, man. We're doing it right. We're doing it right. It's really nice to have you here, man, because you're warming up the city, you know, with your tunes, man.
Thanks, man.
And I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna start it off like this. Like I've been having a bad week. Like one of those weeks. It's not even like nothing like really bad has happened to me, but it's just when you're riding high highs, sometimes you just kind of have a few days when you're just kind of like, oh, yeah. Like why are things? Yeah, they're just getting to me. Why am I getting upset? Why do I want to just smash this laptop? You know? And dude. Like of course I had you come on the podcast. So I'm just throwing the music on. I'm jamming. I love the new single, and dude, just lifts you right out of it, man.
Thanks.
It feels like summer on your skin, right? That's. And what would you do? What did you do at the end of that song, dude? What was the witchamidigi? What are you doing?
The talk box?
That fucking shit was sick. We were listening to that. My girl was like, I didn't see that coming. Yeah. Is that something new that you've been messing with, or?
Yeah, my girl got me a talk box in like the summer of 2020 for my birthday.
Dope.
So like there was nothing to do, and I had been wanting one for a bit, just to mess with it and try it out, and I just fell in love with it. It's so much fun. It's just like it's essentially a speaker that connects to whatever instrument you're playing. So for my situation, it's a keyboard or a synthesizer. Okay. So whatever I'm playing on the keys comes through the tube into my mouth. So I'm not like actually saying anything. It's just like, it's the similar thing to if you put your phone speaker in your mouth and like when you're playing music and you go like, wah, 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 wah. It's kind of like that.
Dude, that is not what I thought was happening.
Yeah.
You've seen the tube that people, they'll have it and they'll do like, it's super, like it's been around forever, but yeah, it's like, you can like still learn so much about it. It's crazy.
It's like the Roger Troutman thing. Like Zapp and Raj.
Yeah, Zapp and Raj, yeah.
Okay, yeah, man, because
awesome.
It's cool. It adds like a super, I don't even know. Like it was just definitely like just beautiful, man. Like how it just came in there. I feel like it's, when you're listening to music, especially when it's something that you're already vibing with, and then you get hit with something unexpected beauty like that. Like, because you just, a lot of music is predictable, So when someone hits you with some unpredictable shit, which that's what you do, man.
Thanks, man.
Every time I listen to your music. So, I'm really interested in kind of, how everything kicked off, like in your life, with like making music. You're from Spokane, is that right?
Yeah.
And maybe bring me through a little bit of kind of how you grew up, like
Totally.
with music.
I mean, music was always something that I really loved to listen to, and I liked singing growing up, but I didn't really do it much until after high school when I met Tristan, my guitar player. I just played sports, and then I started singing, and I did, like, they had this play at our high school, and I tried out for the play and made it, but ended up quitting because it was the same time as baseball season. Yeah. But so like that kind of sparked my interest in singing. I was like, oh, I can actually kind of do this maybe if I practiced and stuff. And then I started hanging out with Tristan. We started doing like crappy cover videos on Facebook.
Oh yeah, man.
The best.
Getting your feet wet.
Yeah, man.
That's what you got to do.
And then we just kind of hit the ground running. We got a couple like acoustic gigs, and then we found our band with Eddie and Juan, and we just started doing the thing.
So it seems to me like you're kind of you're type of guy that, like, you're not afraid to get on stage.
No.
So like back when you were in high school and stuff, and you were just like, oh, there was a play.
I was terrified.
Oh, you
Back
were?
Then, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's definitely like an applied thing or like a learned thing that I had to figure out.
But it definitely wasn't. It didn't like shy you away from saying yes to doing something that you were terrified about, or did somebody have to push you, or you just push yourself? You just get up there.
There was a bunch of people who were like pushing me to do it.
Because they knew you wanted to, but it was just like, oh, that is kind of like when you haven't done it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I had some people who were pushing me, but I was really scared to do it for sure. And I remember getting up on stage in the what do you call that? Like where the theater is in high schools, and sitting in front of like a row of the people who were judging each audition. And I was like
the auditorium.
Yeah.
Oh,
my whole legs like like shaking. Yeah.
Because you're getting judged. It's that feeling. It's like, I know, like, it's taking rejection, like thinking you're gonna mess up. We're so hard on ourselves too, especially as kids.
Yeah, man.
But so you did it though. You got up there, auditioned, but then you didn't end up doing the play because
I did it for probably 2 months, and then I think they were doing their like dress rehearsals. They were about to get into dress rehearsals, and we made it to the playoffs, like the state playoffs for baseball, at the same time. So,
you're like, hey man, I got to play some baseball now.
Yeah, I did it for, I think I started when I was 5 playing baseball.
Dude.
So like to just quit baseball at the last year that I was going to do it, I was like, I'm going to stick with this for now.
What position did you play?
I was a catcher, mostly.
Sick, dude.
Yeah.
Sick. That's a tough, man. I was so bad.
At baseball?
So bad. I couldn't hit a baseball for shit, dude. It's a small ball with a skinny bat, man.
That's about all I could do is hit the ball, damn it.
I could play kickball.
Yeah.
Yo,
Fire.
slow and bouncy.
You get me into high school, they throwing it fast. I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm out, man.
Do they have a kickball league in Spokane? Because
We need to start
we
it.
should start one.
Yeah.
No, seriously, we
With
should.
custom pitches. Remember as a kid, you'd say, I like mine fast and on the ground. And they had to do it that way, or you would just roll it back. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Try to bounce it to
Yeah, no
somebody.
bouncing.
Yeah. But then you could catch it off the bounce and boot it. Just like, I was a tall kid, so I was just like, give it to me, dude.
Were you
Right,
toe
dude.
punting or were you like...
Oh no, dude, you catch it on that top.
But yeah, if you kicked it like a soccer player, then you were winning. But also there's those weird, awkward kids who would toe punt it and the ball would kind of like...
Bro, you toe
Knuckleball.
punt it?
Yeah.
You toe punt it, bro. That's when somebody just gets blasted.
Yes. Yes.
Somebody just gets, because you just line drive it. Poor pitcher. Yeah, I was always terrified to be a pitcher. I thought that would be, I always like, man, I feel like I'd be good at this, but then I feel like it would just be so scary because you're just standing in front of these fucking crazy motherfuckers with bats.
Especially if you're not a good pitcher and they just hit everything you throw.
That would be me, probably.
me too.
I actually, I was a pitcher for slow pitch softball, and it was a fucking problem, dude. They were just rocketing
Slow
out.
pitch too.
Yeah.
I saw my dad get rocked in the eye with slow pitch, dude. He
damn.
slow pitched it right back at him, dude. Just like the orbital, dude. Just he was in the hospital, dude. It's fucked
people get
up.
fucked up from that, dude. They get
Yeah.
fucked up, and actually,
Slow pitch.
It's like it hits you in your fucking sternum too. It can fucking kill you, of baseball.
Dude, especially a softball. that
Yeah,
big.
fucking grapefruit, frozen grapefruit.
Where do they get calling it a softball?
No, it's not.
Yeah, when you hit the fucking thing real hard, it does. Compared to a baseball, it's like, oh, okay, I see. But that's the only time you feel soft.
Yeah.
Oh, when it connects.
Yeah, when you
can
crack one, it's like, okay.
If it was a baseball, it'd go further. That's what you're saying.
Or you'd feel it. Remember how if you didn't hit it right, your hands
It hurt.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Especially
you'd
if
be
it's cold.
Yeah.
You'd be running to first like this, but
Yep.
then you'd be like, oh fuck, I gotta put my hands down.
Yeah, baseball, man.
Yeah.
That's fun. I love to watch baseball for some reason. I don't know why.
I love it
Can't
too,
play it, but love watching it, dude.
Yeah.
So then you guys started. So you guys were just like, what you guys were just doing? You were hanging out with Tristan, just making music, like in the garage, like in the house. Like you guys were just kind of fucking around. Like
We were
lead me
in-
up before you got on stage and started.
Yeah. We were we were both still living at our folks' houses, and I would just go over to his mom and dad's house and chill in his room in his basement, and we'd just pull up songs that we liked and that we thought we wanted to cover. And then he'd learn it, and then I'd sing, and we'd take a video.
See,
was
dude,
just,
that's
like,
where it
super
starts
simple.
because it's like you don't just start creating songs out of
No.
nowhere, right?
Yeah, I didn't write my first song till probably 2 years after that, like 2016.
So it's because it's a different process.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have to have kind of like when you're doing the covers, it was like a template that was already there.
Yeah.
Where you could kind of just be like, here, this is what I can do on this, and then you can songwriting. Explain to me kind of how you segued into like not wanting to do covers so much anymore and getting more into writing your own music.
Yeah. That's tough because I still like doing covers,
I was just gonna ask.
I do them all the time.
Yeah.
But the like drive between, sorry, I should probably stay close to this. The drive between like wanting to, if like I have a choice to be like, I want to learn this cover or I have this song idea that I want to work on, it's always going to probably be the song idea first, like creating.
Yeah.
But there's a fine line now because I still do the cover gig thing at Zola. That's how I like make money, is doing the cover gig thing. So there's still very much so that avenue that I drive down a lot. But I think what shifted was when I started learning all the songs and all the covers and like seeing the chord progressions and seeing how other people created songs. Like
Yeah.
I'm essentially learning how to write in that aspect. And then I did like a music school for a year at the Falls and learned some other stuff.
Is that what your gear started turning a little bit and you were like, oh shit, I think I want to,
Do this?
I want to do this.
Yeah.
So then you invested in yourself.
Yeah.
That's sick, dude.
I dropped out of so I graduated in 2014 from high school, went to Eastern for, I think they're on trimesters there. And I did the first 2 trimesters and then dropped out to do music in the early 2015.
Was it just like, I got what I need? Now I'm ready to go. Or was it like,
I was like, I don't have what I need, and I need to like stop and go to music school so I can figure out how to do this. Yeah.
oh, okay. But I mean, like, as
Yeah.
far as when you were done with music school, like, did you, was it kind of like you didn't feel like you needed to pursue kind of deeper into the education part of it and you need to start putting it into action?
Yeah, I think I did pre-law stuff for a year at Eastern and then went to music school afterwards.
Okay.
And when I went to music school, I was like solely for music. I learned like some piano theory and like took some creative writing classes. But
Hope.
moving like forward in that degree, like you could either get a performance degree, a teaching degree, or a composing degree, and it's all like with jazz and classical music. They didn't have anything for contemporary music like what we make.
Yeah.
So I didn't want that. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't want to be a teacher. I didn't want to learn that extra stuff, but there was still more I wanted to learn, and I figured that I had like enough of fundamentals at that point to kind of try and learn on my own moving forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Have
Yeah.
you taken any like has everything kind of been just like from the knowledge you got there and what you've already known and just kind of like learned on your own from there? Or have you taken any other kind of like classes or any other like YouTube videos or online learning type stuff like that?
I try and learn everything by ear. And that, I mean, like there's like, if I'm learning a new song and I can't figure out a chord, like I'll look up a chart.
Okay.
So they'll tell you what chord it is, and then I'll try and find the right shape, like voicing, because there's different ways to play a bunch of different ways to play the same chord.
Oh, okay.
Kind of a thing. But I try to learn by ear mostly. I know theory, but most of it, I do look up videos too, especially if there's a chord that I have no idea. Like I've never heard of that chord before. I'm like, how do you play that?
And that's the beauty of like where we're at now, right?
Yeah.
Is being able to do that. Like before it was like, what do I look up a book? Like, do I go to the library, try to find like the specific thing, where now you can just type what you're trying to and find it.
Or you take like private lessons from somebody, which is still very much an avenue that people go down. And I haven't done it much. I've taken a couple lessons with people in the last probably 3 or 4 years, but it's so awesome that you can just look up a video at any point in time. Like anybody can learn any instrument.
Yeah,
with,
you can
with YouTube University kind of a thing.
Teach yourself.
Yeah.
I got a question. What
Yeah.
what exactly, if you had to define music theory, like what is that even? Like, is that like what would you say defining music theory? Like, what does that mean?
The best way that I can, like how I like to describe it is like theory is a set of rules for music.
Okay.
And they're not meant for you to follow necessarily. They're like meant to be stretched and broken because everything's been done before.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
That's kind of what I was getting at. It's just like, at what point are you like, oh, I've got music theory down pat, and then you're just like, well, I'm kind of like just following all these fucking rules,
Yeah.
and then I feel like boxed in, So
Yeah.
I always
cool.
thought it was music math.
Essentially. Yeah.
Okay.
That's another
Okay.
way to look at it too.
Like a foundation of how things work, and then you can kind of
move shit to the side. So like hook chorus, like hip hop songs, how people are like, oh, break out of that, like that would be an idea of like getting out of that theory, I guess.
Yeah, that's like production stuff
Okay.
for sure.
All right,
like
sweet.
theory is like in a scale, for instance, like in a scale, you've got 8 notes to one key, right? And then there's different types of scales that you can play, and they're all different, like intervals from each other, kind of a thing. I'm trying not to get too nerdy about it.
No, please.
It's
We ain't gonna
interesting.
understand it, but please tell
It
me.
is interesting.
So it's like there's rules for music, right? Like in a major scale, like the one's gonna be major unless it's a minor scale, and then the one's gonna be a minor chord, kind of a thing. But you learn the rules. Theory is essentially like you're learning the rules of music that were written like Beethoven time, like classical early stuff, and you're learning it to break it essentially.
Dude, that is like what else is like music? There's nothing
Not a
else
lot, yeah.
like music, dude.
Just art in general. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right. Art in
totally.
general.
That reminds me of like someone
Crazy.
saying, like someone who knows a lot about music will be like, this is totally out of key. And that they're basing it off of music theory, but that's right after they say that, they're like, I fucking love it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there was like something new age that's going on where it's like it's out of key and I fucking
But
love
you
it.
bent it in a
You
way
know what I mean?
that
It's
is
like-
still pleasing
Like,
to
yeah,
the ear.
exactly. I always wondered that. Like, what the fuck is theory? Like, there's a lot of craziness.
No, that's a
going
great
on.
question because
So-
like I never knew too. I was just like every time I tried to learn anything technical with music, I'm always just like, holy shit! But it's cool to always know that there's
No,
like
for real.
some more shit out there to learn. You know,
I had a
like,
feeling I could pick it up if he explained it. You know what I mean? Like when he was just like, "All right, let me explain."
like
this.
tell me in the complex, and then we'll just be like music math.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Ding, ding,
It's
ding,
2
ding.
words. We could just
There
call
we
it
go.
that.
Yep.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, music math is a really good way to think about it, except for like math is so absolute, right? Like 2 + 2 is always going to be 4. But in music math, like 2 + 2 could equal 5, you know, or any number that you want.
Yeah, because you can stretch and bend and do all sorts of, yeah, man. And you're right. The thing is that there's so many millions of musicians out here now. Like people are doing it. It was already done.
Yeah.
Every way almost that could be done. People are still bending it, finding new ways through, you know, I mean, the genres of music have just exploded. Like there's subgenres, and I mean it's insane the different type of music people are, is rock and rap. That used to be crazy. Oh man, Jay-Z and Linkin Park.
Yeah,
that's
right?
crazy.
Yeah,
you know. And now now it's fucking. They got everything, dude. They got dark dubstep / soul. You're like, what? Where are we going to tonight? I don't know. Okay, we're gonna find out. Who really was inspiring to you? Like, who are you listening to? Like, what kind of records did your parents have, or that you were getting your hands on that were really kind of shaping you as a music youth?
Honestly, I didn't like. My folks listened to like pop music and country music. And then like my dad showed me. I think I found Prince through my dad. Like that was one of the first artists that I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. Is Prince? I think he played Kiss. And then I liked a lot of the Motown stuff, like the Temptations and
did they have a lot of that at the house?
No.
And so were you kind of just like forced to listen to like a lot of the country and the pop and stuff? So in a way it did shape you also.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of how it was for me too. Like I was forced to listen to country my whole life. But one thing that I found to really appreciate about country was the writing.
Yeah.
I really found like, oh, okay, well, I don't really like too much of this twangy, like this isn't my style. But in the writing and in the message and in the way they could tell a story, I was like, that's fucking tight.
Yeah, the storytelling is great.
So, you take something, you know what I'm saying, from it. So where did you have to go out to where did you find like the Motown shit? Where did you get it? Like was it a friend's parents' house?
Probably through my grandma. My grandma loves Elvis. Like, loves is the understatement of the year. Like she has 2 rooms like full of Elvis memorabilia, like Elvis clocks with the legs that go like this.
Yes.
Shout out Grandma Linda. Dude.
I can totally
She's
see that clock moving right now.
Baby.
She's a legend, dude.
Dude, that's fucking awesome.
I think through that probably because I would listen to older stuff like that, like on like Pandora, I think Pandora, yeah.
Pandora Radio.
Yep.
So just open you up to a new generation of music, a whole new time, different flavor.
Yeah.
And so you were like, oh, Elvis, okay, cool. And then you start getting, that's what's the thing about Pandora, right? It would just start shuffling in.
Yep.
You're like, oh shit. Yeah. You're like the Temptations. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
And then too, like when I found Alan Stone's music too, like I was really into what he was doing. And at the same time I was taking guitar lessons from a guy in town named Joe Brash. And he was like, do you know who his influences are? I was like, I have no idea. And then he did some digging and he's like, oh, he likes these types of people. We should learn their music. You should listen to their music so you can figure out like where his influences are coming from. Because if you like this, you'll probably like what he likes before or whatever, or like what inspired him. And then like Stevie Wonder and the Meters and Bill Withers and Al Green.
Baby.
All that stuff.
All the good shit.
All the good stuff.
All the good shit, dude, because it's that like soul in my definition is like it really is. It's just the core of goodness.
Yeah, it makes you feel good.
That makes you feel good, dude.
Or it makes you feel sad. Yeah, or feel just anything.
Yep.
It just makes you feel.
And that's why I like soul is like, it's just so, it can move you. And that's the big thing about it. Usually it makes you feel real good, you know, and a lot of that Al Green, bro, the fucking Marvin Gaye.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that shit would like, those classics, dude, those are just so good, man. Like, it's crazy. That's why it's like, you know, and then music gets tied to movies and scenes and things, and then we emotionally attached to, you know, it's crazy.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere, man.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is, speaking of feeling good, is just this last weekend I tried to come to Zola, and I mean, like, there was a line outside, people trying to get in and feel good, and the doors, you know,
This
freezing.
is Saturday?
freezing cold outside, yes, and like just soul just pumping. It was packed. That was your guys'?
I think we were there. It was when Alan Stone came down actually.
Oh, okay,
and
cool.
Played with us, and he like did an announcement. Anytime he does like
Anything,
an announcement
anywhere.
in Spokane, like everybody's there. And
Yeah. We were actually trying to go to kind of just catch the whole vibe, but then we had heard Alan was going to be there too.
You're like, we
And-
got late. We're
And
here
I
late.
mean, everybody was thinking the same exact thing. Ubers were pulling up left and right.
I bet,
you know?
yeah.
Listen, one thing that I really respect about Alan Stone too, I don't know him, but have kind of followed the journey a little bit, and it's just like, you know, when I see somebody that's really had a commercial success, really kind of giving back to the hometown where they're
Oh my
from.
God,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like that's something like that, like where he does the residencies or like the lodge and the shit, like dude, cool shit like that, and then bring in my people out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like really including people that are fire, because that's why we have this podcast, right? It's because people are doing fire shit here, and
Yeah, but people don't know about it.
people don't know about
That's
it.
the thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's what Al's trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. I think that's what we all should be trying to do.
That
'Cause,
is.
like if you don't have community and you're not lifting each other up, you know, like it's not a competition. Like when one person goes up, like we're all going up with them.
Look, man,
you know?
and we all bring something different to the table, right? And like, you know, Alan Stone is Alan Stone, and you know, we are us. Like we all have our own uniqueness and our own talents and things that we can bring to the table that's different and that people will latch onto and love. And I think that, like, you're right. The community is kind of what feeds that love both ways. And I'm so glad that it was like such a big turnout for you guys. Was it just a fucking gang of fun, I bet, on Saturday?
Yeah, it was so much
awesome.
fun. It was him, and he brought these two guys in, Jesse Gold, based out of Toronto, amazing artist, amazing singer, and then his buddy EJ Warland from Australia. He lives in LA now.
That's
But
awesome.
It's so cool. Like they're just awesome
Yeah.
musicians. Like I got to work with EJ. He goes by Ed. I got to work with Ed right at the top of the summer for 2020. We were doing Live at the Lodge stuff out
Okay.
there with him. He was the first guest artist on the show, and then Jesse came to Alan's festival that he holds in the summer out at the lodge,
Yep.
called Stone Family Field Trip.
Yes.
And he was an artist on there. Got to work with him then too. They're just,
Dude,
it's
I really
awesome.
want to make it
Oh,
out to that.
he just recently did a tour where he did like karaoke, right?
Yeah, Al.
That
yeah.
was so fucking cool looking. And like people were like getting on stage and singing and then traveling with him, right? Like
Yeah.
it looked like, at least. That's cool.
No, I think it's cool when like even just bringing that community, like of you know, wanting to include the people. Like, I'm not some big star here. Like, you know, you're lucky to see. It's like, this is like family shit, right? It's like
Yeah.
fam, not fans type of a mentality where, and he has that mentality. I can tell you have that mentality. And shout out to our man Brennan over here, who's the great connector of people and
big time.
community. And
Thank you.
we appreciate you, bro. And
Brendan, you need a beer?
I'm good.
I
Thank
was
you.
gonna throw it right over to you.
I have a steel reserve in my refrigerator calling my name.
Nice.
Legend.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
are there any artists in like? Is there any artists in Spokane that you really, really love right now that you'd want to shout out to that you think people should be like listening to more?
Oh, that's so. Yeah, all of them. They're awesome. There's so much good talent in Spokane.
Agree. I definitely agree.
My buddy Carter Hudson's got a thing going. He's
Yeah.
about to release an EP.
Oh, he is?
soon. Yeah, I don't know if he's announced the date yet, but it's coming soon. I know
love
it's
that.
done, and he's like getting ready to release it. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I've been following him. He's dope.
Yeah. Of course, Lucas Brown.
Legend.
Yeah. You guys heard of Snacks at Midnight?
Oh yeah,
They're dope.
dude. Didn't they just did it? The Red Knot Chili Peppers. Didn't they just do a fucking show with them? Right?
Did they open for him or
I
something?
think they opened for him or something. Yeah.
tight.
Yeah. Snacks at Midnight, man. Those guys are fucking
Yeah,
tight.
I've heard of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to those guys, man.
And then one kind of off kilter, Itchy Kitty.
Dude, so
Itchy Kitty's so dope.
So
Yeah.
what's up, man?
You have a what do you have of Itchy Kitty?
Itchy Kitty is like a band that I didn't know. I didn't know if they were still making music or not.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sick, dude.
Yeah.
So okay, like explain this to me, because rappers and shit will just drop music all the time, albums all the time, like do
Yeah.
all this crazy shit, right? But like I feel like when you're in a band and you're making music, it's a lot harder. Maybe, I don't know, to just be releasing music all the time. I know that, obviously you released your EP in 2019, right?
Yeah, and 2020.
And 2020. Yep, that's right. Was it Better?
The first one, yeah.
And then
Braley.
Blake Braley, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that Blake Braley EP was just fucking blew me away, dude. But I did see, if you go to blakebraley.com, okay, it'll say the band is working on your first album or your first project. So
Yeah.
how's that going? Talk to me a little bit about that.
It's good. I need to update my website, but we're working on another. Sorry about that. We're working on another EP right now. We've got a bunch of songs kind of in the bank, but they all need to be recorded. They're just like demo versions right now.
Oh, okay.
They just need to be like re-recorded and then produced and all that stuff.
Do you do a lot of that stuff in house, or is there like a studio that you go to, or do you send your stuff off to mix and master, or how does that work?
Yeah, the last two times we were fortunate enough to work with this guy in town named Michael Hathaway. He had like a home studio up by Chaps, like almost out by Cheney.
Oh, dope. Okay.
But he moved to Nashville and sold his place here, so he doesn't
damn.
have a studio anymore. But like this last EP the last single we just did in house. We recorded everything remotely. So I did just like MIDI drums, like just like on a trigger,
Okay.
like a drum pad, and then moved. Like we did that, and then we did the real drums on it with Dre Davis.
Yeah.
At
Love
his,
Dre.
at his place, and then Eddie did bass at his house. Tristan did guitar.
So
at his
really
house.
remote. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything was done separate. Dope.
Yep.
And so
And then I mixed and mastered.
I was just gonna say, so how does that process? So dope, dude. Is that kind of like what you picked up in school, or is that a lot of ear just learning?
Just doing it. Yeah. I mean, I
love
do
that.
demos and stuff at home all the time. But for this one, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a mix engineer, but
Yeah.
I just was like, I would get too precious about stuff. Like I want it to sound really good, and like whereas I do want it to sound good, like I have to know. Like right now, I'm not loaded. I can't afford the $600
It's
mix.
crazy.
Yeah, no,
It's great. No, I feel like nobody talks about that.
yeah,
As an artist, is like how much like
it's so expensive.
it's so expensive.
Yeah, and I can't afford that.
And you want to talk about I got to shoot a music video.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to like it just
Merch, like all
dude.
this stuff. Yeah.
And at least merch, it's like, I'll make some money back. Like,
Yeah,
I'll sell
but like
it. And then,
you're gonna put some songs on Spotify and like maybe they'll get listened to.
and
Yeah.
you might get a couple bucks.
Yeah.
They might
Yeah.
get you a couple bucks. Literally a couple.
I think it's up to 0.0023 cents per stream now, which is better than it was, but
Yeah.
still.
But
you know?
still, I mean, merch is where it's at. But that's super impressive that you're working on that. And so, what would you say like holds you guys back, like timeline wise, like as far as releasing music? Do you ever feel like it's just something like, is it besides money? Like, is it pretty much just money, like to finalize things and get shit done?
For the last 3 years, yeah, totally. Yeah.
Damn, man. See,
Yeah.
that's a goddamn fucking shame.
Yeah,
Now-
with like COVID and everything.
Oh, true.
Like I didn't work for a year and a half. I mean, I was working a day job, but
Did you write a lot of music over like during COVID?
I tried to, yeah. And that was the other thing too, is like I was writing music, but I didn't like it. It was like really like not. It was kind of dark.
How
and it was-
often does that happen? That you'll write some shit and you have like full songs done,
Yeah,
and you're just like, this is.
and it's not doesn't work. Yeah, all the time. I mean, I
got to come by your house because I know he's
You
got some
should.
hitters,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I know there's some hitters in there. I can hear.
But like, yeah, it's weird, man. Because like you gotta know, like as a writer, I try to write like as much as possible, like every day if I can. It doesn't work
That's
out
hard.
like that.
Yeah, of course.
But the more you do it, the better you get at it, right? But not everything you write's gonna be a banger.
No.
Some of them are gonna suck,
Dude, it's
Yeah.
so like all the real artists out there know. I'm speaking to you and the camera people, okay? Every real artist knows you got tons of songs that you're just like, that just don't make the cut. But, you know, when people come over to your house, you're like, oh, yeah, I heard this one. Check this out.
yeah.
I'm never going to release it, but check it out. And people be like, that's fire. I'm like, I thought you would say that, but I'm not. I can't put it out because exactly like, or maybe it will fit on a future project or something that you're doing, but it's not fitting with
the vision right now. Yeah, exactly.
So when did you write Starting Over? Was that kind of like a quick turnaround? Is that something you've been sitting on for a while?
Sitting on, yeah. I wrote it. I wrote that during pandemic, like early 2021, I think, or like late 2020.
Okay.
Wrote it with Tristan. Just did a demo thing at my house. Just everything in the box, like on the computer. Nothing, not like a studio setup or anything like that.
Because it feels like summer on your skin, and it feels right. I wanna let you in, and it feels like you finally got to know you. No more looking over my shoulder. I'm starting over, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just sitting on it for a while, and I was on tour with Alan, and we were in Tristan. We were coming home. We were sitting in the Dallas airport, like the Delta, or what do you call it? The American Airlines like hub inside.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there eating Shake Shack, and I asked Alan first, like, I was like, hey, who do you use for like a mix engineer, or like do you have anybody that you could pass off? And I was just looking for a name, and he was just like, man, fuck that, do it yourself. Like, you don't need to pay somebody. Like, you don't have money to do that, and you're good enough to like learn it, so you should just start fucking doing it yourself.
Dude, that's
Pretty
fire.
much just like was super straight up, but
Dope.
like really supportive, and was like, you can do this, man, like just do it.
But he wouldn't tell you that you could if he didn't
Yeah.
think you could, you know?
No, yeah, he's really straight up, so it's
That's
like,
dope.
yeah.
So then you were just like, let's go.
Yeah, I got like a lit of fire under my butt. That was in September, and then finished the song in November.
And you're talking this last year, 2022.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's that song. And what did it have a specific meaning? Did it kind of?
Yeah.
Tell me about it a little bit.
I think when I wrote it, I didn't really realize. I don't think I really realized like what it was about when I first wrote it. It kind of felt like a love song, and then I went back and tweaked the lyrics, and then later on, I was like, it's kind of like a message, like I'm writing to myself, kind of a thing.
Yep.
It's kind of how I interpret it now. But like everybody's gonna have their own interpretation of the song, and I hope that people get their own like message out of it. But for me, it's just like I'm constantly like overthinking stuff, and I got like anxiety pretty heavy sometimes and shit, and like just trying to remind myself like it was like I wrote it at a time where I was feeling like there was a shift that I was doing, and like going to therapy again, and like in a relationship during COVID, and it's fucking hard, and like we're working through shit, and like thank God we did, because we're doing good now and stuff. But it's like it was just a message to myself that
So
like, it's gonna
all
be
that
okay.
kind of built this song.
Yeah.
Like all that emotion was in there, and that's damn, man. Give me goosebumps, bro. That shit,
Me too, actually,
that's some
because
real
I
shit.
can relate to all that stuff you said too. You know what I mean? Get anxiety and run into issues that you gotta just work through. You know, and you gotta be the best you. So
I think anxiety is a motherfucker, dude. I think it's one of those things because you look around, you look at people, and you just think that like nobody sees the anxiety.
No.
Everybody's just like, oh, you're just killing it. You're just doing great. And you're just like, I'm dying inside.
I know,
Yeah.
fuck,
you know, or
dude.
like I'm fucking like one of the big things that I do that you said too was I just overthink.
Me too, man.
Over fucking think way too much, man. And like I can't remember who was it. Kenny Beats. He's a producer, and he got a sign in his studio that says "Don't overthink shit."
Yeah.
And that's like that'll stick in my head as like just stop, bro. Like it's like, you know, whether it's like, oh, you have a goal, you're trying to do something, you missed it, or oh, I wanted things to work out this way, it didn't work, or sometimes we just tripping about
Nothing.
yeah, right?
Man.
And
Yeah.
it's like knowing with your logical brain, like it's good, like stop. Like everything is fine. Remember when we were kids, everything was fine.
Yeah.
We didn't have anxiety when we were kids. I felt like we was just out doing shit and things were okay. And now as adults, we're just like, is everything okay?
Yeah.
Did I talk too much? I'll do a podcast or something, leave it. Did I say too much?
Sent me a text.
I'll start tripping.
I'm like, Zach, everything was great. He's like, okay, great.
Yeah.
If you liked it, I love it.
It's real. It's real, man.
Yeah.
And the battle that we have with ourselves when no one's around is really and that's why I'm glad you said therapy. That's tough for a lot of people. And that's another thing. That's like fucking being an artist, right? Like who could afford therapy? Like, it's like, fuck, dude. Okay, I can afford to go, but like, this ain't sustainable. Like, how can we,
The problem, I think, also with overthinking is like when it works, and then like you tend to overthink things for a while after that. Like, you'll overthink something, and then things will fall apart, and you'll have like plan B and C, and then you fall back on those, and it's like, see, that's why I fucking overthink.
Yeah.
And then you overthink the things you shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like, you'll take a road trip, or you'll do something where overthinking may be needed, and then you trick your brain, and then you start overthinking like what kind of beer you want to drink for the night or something. You know what I mean?
I'll start just kind of overthinking things like
little shit.
Even just in something that I'm trying to do. So if I'm trying to do a podcast and I'm like, oh, I need to structure. I gotta. This has got to be good. And it's just like, bro, just show up. Just let it be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's like, it's the same thing. Like, when you, like, for me, I get like, sometimes I get hella anxiety when I'm going to write, especially if I'm going to do a co-write and I'm showing up not feeling inspired or not feeling like I have anything to offer, and I'll leave thinking like, God, that was a waste. I just wasted their time, kind of a thing or whatever. But like, not every time you're not going to be on every time. Not everything you write. It's the same thing that we were just talking about, like, not every song is going to be a banger.
But being okay with that, that's where we're at. Like, as people, that's where we're like, we got to just be okay with like, it's okay. Like, it didn't work out like you thought. You weren't in the mood, like in the zone, or like sometimes shit just doesn't line up. Yeah. And we just, do you get that like stage anxiety? Or are you just is it home up there?
It's home up there. Yeah. I mean, I do get anxious every once in a while. Like, if there's some turd in the crowd being a butthead, like.
Yeah.
So when you're out there, you kind of got to deal with somebody, but like, you don't get like a pre-show kind of
you're
like
clocking in at Zola, you're good.
Because it's gone, because you're doing it all the time.
Yeah.
Bro, that shit still give me, I don't do enough shows to like, when I got one, I'm just like,
it's tough to break through that, I remember like doing shows, and like it never felt like something I could just do in my sleep, I guess you could say.
Though you could.
I know.
Like if you rehearse, obviously you prepare yourself. Yeah. It's like the mental. That's a big mental fuck, because it's like, you're gonna be great. Dude.
Yeah.
What are you tripping about? But you're like, it's almost like that audition.
Yeah, you want it to be good.
You want it to be good. So you're tripping because you're just like, oh, it's but no amount of tripping is gonna make it better.
Yeah.
No.
Actually, you not giving a fuck is what's gonna make it the best.
Yeah.
Which is like the craziest.
Yeah, it's like the expectation thing, like
that's what it is.
Yeah, it's like I tend to have expectations about everything, and I'm like, that's one of the things I'm really trying to work on right now, is just like, accept it, like radical acceptance, and it's just accepting like it's gonna go the way it's gonna go. Like, you can only control what you can control, and just. Yeah, dude.
That's what I got to work on, dude. That's
hard.
That's what I need to focus on.
Yeah, that's huge.
I think it's where your focus is, and I think that we all know that it's like one of the main things that we trip about that'll drive us crazy is shit we can't control, and then it's like it'll drive you crazy not because you can't control it. Like, oh, I want to be able to get here and I can't, and it's just like it's like the only thing you can do is just.
Not control it.
Just let it go, man. Just understand that this shit ain't gonna work out. It's not your time, and there's a million other things that will give you happiness right now.
Yeah,
and it's huge when it works out, and you're just like, completely out of my control. Worked out great.
Yeah, man, that's the best.
Life is so fucking.
Look,
sweet.
I don't put music to my life enough. I'm always like, sometimes I'm just like, oh, I don't need to put music in this right now. And I feel like it's important to put music. When you watch a movie, you're not watching a movie with no music. Like when you watch a movie, they put music, it changes it, right? It makes the scene more exciting, more romantic, more fearful, more comedic, whatever it is. That's what it does, and that's what it can do to your life. When you add that kind of soundtrack, right? You throw on some Motown, you throw on some old school shit, will just transform. You can't even. I was in a bad mood today, and I was like, I'm gonna go fucking chop it up, Blake, Braley, and Cody. I'm fucking Brennan. I was like, it's not even possible that I'm gonna be able to leave in a bad mood.
You just made me think of a new app idea that is gonna for sure be the future.
Tell me.
Yeah,
Whereas we're all gonna have like earbuds in that we're gonna put in the morning because like, you know, technology, right?
Okay.
And the music is gonna be just like, it's gonna be attached to our feelings.
Oh, it'll know, like a mood ring.
Yes, it's gonna be called. The app is gonna be called Mood.
And when
Ring.
you wake up, it's kind of more quiet in the background.
It's like,
It's like
but some
edging it.
people it's like Motown jazz in the morning, and they're just like, and it's just like, oh shit.
But then you get your coffee and it starts coming to the
but, like, your
forefront a
week,
little more.
you just experienced you're having like a little bit of a rough week, but well, like it's gonna like lean into your rough spots.
It'll know.
And like it's gonna be attached to something like social status. Like the poorer you are, it's not gonna fucking give you any uplift.
No, it's gonna be attached to your Twitter. It'd be like, what did he tweet?
Oh,
shit. Okay.
And it's just all gonna be controlled, and we're not gonna have any control over the music.
No, you're right.
I
'Cause
don't-
dude,
That sounds terrifying.
I know it just went terrifying in my brain.
No, you're right. Because it would work in the way where if you're in a great mood, it would enhance your great mood. But then I feel like if you're in a bad mood, it would be like, dun, dun. Like either if it was smart, it would
Yes.
play good shit to pull you out.
That's what I'm saying.
But maybe it just starts playing some
But the-
sinister shit for
But
your
there's
mood,
gonna
and
be
you're
like
just
a
like,
inner city folk that's gonna have all the same shit in their earbuds, and they're not gonna realize. And they'll be like, "Why are we all so fucking mad?" And it's like, well, because
no,
like-
look, if you so your day is a movie. Just think of it like that, okay?
There we go.
So now, if you
film
had,
score.
if there was
Yeah.
an app that could soundtrack your day,
yeah, real time.
I don't know if that would be good or bad.
That
but-
like monitors your heart rate or something.
Like,
Yeah.
it just-
Oh, there we
So,
go.
like I said, it's kind of in the background. You're waking up. It knows that you need it a little quiet. You're kind of just getting up. And then you get your coffee. It goes up a little bit. And then by the time you're really getting into your day, now it's
Yeah.
fucking some drums, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, or maybe some sax. You know, for me, it'd be like some sax. I would just be like,
Yeah.
ooh.
All the way to
okay.
work, Alanis Morissette would pop on. You'd be like, all right.
And then
shit.
it switches to some, you know, some elevator music, but like some shit you would like. You know, when you're
Yeah.
kind of in autopilot and you're working, it's just kind of like hitting some low drums or some lo-fi hip hop beats or something. And you
And
just,
you look at your girl and you're like, I'm in flow state.
Yeah.
She's like, why would you say that? And you're just like,
bro, but then you about to get freaky, like your brain changes, and all of a sudden that Marvin Gaye hit, that whatever they know what
Yeah.
you like, they play it changes your mood, it enhances your just mood.
but some sickos
Bro.
got Marvin Gaye in their ear all day, and it's just like, get the fuck away from me, bro.
I got Marvin, I got
It's just like I can't get it out
I
of my
got the
fucking.
dubstep version. Okay, I got the slowed down version. Okay, I got the original.
But you do that, and then there's like a live band in a studio somewhere who's real time playing the music for you throughout the day.
Now we're getting into some Severance
Yeah.
shit.
So
You
when
ever
you
see that
walk
show?
in, yes, when you walk into the venue, basically it all just kind of like the only way to detach that is to go see live music. That's how live music gets you back.
No,
so
it
when you
does.
go in, it's just like through, and it all just computes to the live band.
Well, the crazy thing is that this app doesn't exist, and the best way is to go see some fucking live music.
Yeah, no, it all came back to like a
For
real
real though.
interaction. Like,
Because like, you know, when is it really better? Like you go to a bar and you're vibing, but like imagine you go in, you know, especially like Zola. Zola's such a sick setup, dude, because it's got like the upper fucking deck and it's got the lower. It's just like
It's
a chill-
vibey,
It's
yeah,
a
dude.
vibey ass
It's vibey,
spot, dude. So
yeah.
when you go there, you know, you're ordering some drinks just like a normal bar, but then there's just the cuts are playing, dude. You got seasoned cats up here playing fucking all sorts of sick shit. So like that's the best way to get that soundtrack for your life, right? Is to get out there and go see some local music. And that's what I want to fucking all you people, okay, including myself. And
Right?
Let's get out there and go see some more local music because there's a lot of people up there. Just imagine all the sets that go that just hit that we all wish we could see.
Yeah.
That we could see. When you're in town, get out there and go see it.
The hard thing too, being a musician, is like we're all playing at the same time. Most of the time.
Yeah. And that's where you said community too. That's like where more of that can come in to where you can enhance and book around each other and support each other. I feel like that's a big part, right? Like one big part of community I feel like is that I want to get better at is being present. And when you're present and you're supporting, and then people come and they're present and and then your homie's doing something, we all go, like, being able to really just bring the bodies out. Sometimes it's just like, if 4 people go, now fucking 12 people are going.
Yeah.
Just because these 4 people are going.
Yeah.
So just being present is like you're bringing people in. I just feel like that's the community, even as an artist, right? Like it's up to me. Like if I want people to show out, then, I got to show out. Right. And show that support. And, when I go out to a show and I show somebody support, people follow me and people say, oh shit, you going to Blake Braley on Friday? Oh shit. Okay. Well, yeah. And now people are making plans, and now we got a group. Now a bunch of people, oh shit, let's make it a whole thing. Yeah. Right. And I feel like that's what really changes the scene. Like you said, it's not a competition. Sometimes we get it in our heads where it's that just younger brain or whatever that we got, where it's just like, oh, if this might take away from my shine or this or that. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't, right?
Yeah. And art is so subjective. Like one person, like you might like something that I think is ass, or vice versa.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like everybody's got different tastes and stuff. And it's hard to judge somebody on a subjective level, or an objective level in music. Like, oh, this band is better than this band, kind of a thing, And
I mean, they do that, and that's like what they do, and that's what's tough, right? Is that
it's not helpful.
It's not. And that's because what it does is it pits and creates the competition.
Yep.
Because they want to turn music into capitalism, and fuck you.
Yeah,
because
for real,
that's
bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like music is just this shit that people are just creating this shit, dude. Like, it doesn't even matter now. Like, it was crazy. I was in the shower. I was thinking about this. Like, back in the day, you had to be somebody really talented and kind of bona fide to even get in the room with the equipment, or you had to be rich, right? One of the two, for you to even have the equipment and to be able to make music and to get it mixed and all this shit, right?
Like when you were coming up,
like I'm just saying, like the 90s.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like it just wasn't available. Like you just couldn't get on Amazon and just be like, yeah, send me a fucking mix.
MPC.
Yeah, exactly. I can just build my studio.
You had to play drums, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Thank you. And even if it existed, it was still like getting a song
not accessible,
made, get it pressed, get it out, then you got to distribute it. Like, it's just no fucking way that people could be. Now everybody can express themselves musically
on their phone,
on the fucking TikTok, on the fucking whatever you want to do. You make a song for Spotify, you just doing live music, you're putting it on TikTok. However people do it, it's just endless what people can do. And that's the thing that really makes music this outlaw type shit. Like, you can't fucking wrangle music. Like, fuck that, dude.
Yeah,
like,
for real.
and that's what I love about people who do it for the right reasons. And when I see Al, really putting on for people who just make dope music, right? Like, even though he's just amazing and has achieved so much great shit, like really seeing somebody that hasn't swayed from the love of music.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? When it's like, I need to bring Blake onto it. Like, these are my people. Like, because appreciating that, like, your spirit is right there in the right place of music. And that's why when you make a song, it hits different. When someone's trying to make a song, I'm trying to, and then Blake Braley just makes a song, that's why I'm like, bro. And that's where it's like, yo, we don't need to drop a song every. I gotta drop. That's a rapper thing. I feel like I gotta drop music. I gotta drop all the time. Maybe that's just an artist thing.
That's where that competition. That's where that not enough.
I'm not gonna be relevant if I don't drop. I gotta be dropping all the time, right? I'm gonna lose relevance. Where it's just like, that's what I appreciate about you, because you make music that like lasts through years. So it's like, it's not a song like where it just comes out and you bump it for a week and then it's like, oh yeah, where's the next shit? It's like you make like timeless music, like the music that you make, man. Like for real, like not even just like saying it because you hear right now, but like for real, like some of those songs like Neon Lights, like shit like that, like Never Live, dude, songs like that, they just fucking timeless music, dude. Like when you're listening to Motown, when you're coming up in the 2000s or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's timeless music. It touches you like it touched the people in 1964 or whatever the fuck time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's like what your music's going to continuously do because I feel it. So look,
I hope so.
Yeah, no, it does. Like really, it's like that we do live in this capitalistic society that's just insane. With like, if you want to get your music to people, that's where you got to have money, right? But like doing the shit that you guys did as Zola's, packing that shit out, lines around the building, having fun, just going on tours.
Yeah, bro, that's we were talking about expectations earlier, right? And trying not to have expectations. Like the only expectation I've been trying to have is to have fun. Like that's the number one fucking rule.
I love that.
Yeah. We've all done an event where it didn't turn out the way you wanted and somehow you hacked your brain and you had fun. Yeah. It's just like, well, that was all right though. Still, you know what I mean.
But there was this, right?
Yeah, exactly. But there was also this thing where everybody did good too. So
yeah, because if you had fun, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Right. Then it doesn't matter if there was 20 people or 10 people or 100 people. Like because if you're having fun, they're having fun, and that's something I had to learn on stage too. Is I was like, when I first got up on stage, I was always thinking it was going to be this like you got to do it some certain way. And then when you realize that art is like, just be yourself. Just go up there and like, how do you fucking dance out there, bro? Like, you don't need to look, No. You don't got to just be fucking silly. Be yourself. Sing your heart out. Rap your heart out. Do whatever you do. And then when you do that, people are just like, whoa, I want to be like you. You're like, bro, what?
Yeah,
As soon as you stop trying to be like who you trying to be like, now all of a sudden people want to be like you because it's something that they haven't. It's almost a comfortability in your own skin that people are like, I just want that. I just want to be able to do what I want to do and not feel like I'm being judged or not have anxiety or not.
You want to be authentic.
You want to be authentic and feel okay doing it. I feel like that's where we're at, right? Like it's like we can do things, but how do we feel about it? So being able to like be authentic with yourself and feel good about it, right? Being an adult is fucking weird, dude. The way that our brains work on ourselves.
Yeah, man.
The weird expectations that we hold for ourselves and like sometimes I don't know, dude. It's super brutal sometimes, dude. So
and just like what the world or what society expects from us or like conformity shit.
Yeah, like I think definitely, obviously, money is like that is a part of that constant. You always need to be feeling like, and I don't know if this is like a woman and a man thing, but definitely as a man, you just feel like you need to be providing financially. Like I need to be doing this certain amount. If I'm not doing it, then I'm like, it's just toxic on your brain, dude. Because we're all living, man, and we've all been broke as shit. Yeah. I'm talking broke as shit, like white bread, fucking, tortillas and butter, like, broke as shit. And we are all right. So if in that logic, we should never be tripping because even in the worst case scenario, we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And it's like our whole mentalities are all filled with irrationalities of, I'm going to get on stage. I'm nervous. It's like, bro, but it's gonna be okay. Like, how do you connect that brain and that emotion together to cure that anxiety? Like, I've been trying to figure it out forever.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
Just I don't know if it's just the stress of being an adult person and just feeling like you need to be. That's another thing, I guess, is just, you need to be doing better. than you were.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
year after, you gotta be better. You gotta
Scaling.
gotta be scaling, right?
It's
Or
just
else you're plateauing.
yeah,
and
but you're your own like you're trying to scale your name. Like what the fuck? You're trying to be better than you were that last year. Like fuck.
and that's where it can be toxic for artists because I feel like
Yeah.
artists take it harder than anybody.
Oh, big time.
Totally.
I'll be honest with you. Like, I totally know exactly what you're talking about. And I also know how normal people feel, you know, who aren't trying to like
'Cause you
create
had
art.
it and let go.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it's dangerous. And like, it's in all sorts of industry. It's not just like making music. Everywhere people are feeling inadequate about all sorts of stuff, and you're like trying to get to this level, but nobody's at that fucking level. Like nobody's there.
Yeah.
You know, it's just something that we create in our heads. So it is toxic.
The thing is like how, you know, and that like every time I take psychedelics, it'll like show it to me. It'll be like, oh, dude, like this isn't real. Like stop tripping.
Yeah.
And then it's like I just try to keep it with me, but for some reason, like eventually I'll get caught right back in it again, where it's like
Yeah, social media and like just life just is like reminds you.
social
like,
media as an artist can be hard too because you're trying like sometimes that becomes like such an outlet to share your shit, and then it's like when you start focusing on like
And comparisons
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, man.
A for real two-ended sword. Like when they use that analogy, like it's for real with social media. Like you can straight up use it and it's used against you in the same fucking stroke. Like
how was your like what would you say your relationship with social media is? Is it like do you use it too much? Are you like kind of had a healthy relationship with it, or do you not use it a lot?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I definitely use social media a lot. I'm always looking up like keyboard players or guitar players who are just hitting, and I like my whole explore page is just people going.
I love that.
Whatever, you know,
That's beautiful.
like
Because it can be such a healthy
like,
place.
It's like
know
that.
it's so good.
That or like dumb cat videos. Like that's my whole
okay.
explore page. But like, yeah, I mean, I've never really like monitored it in the sense of like tried to think of how much fucking time I'm actually spending on social media. And just within like the last year, I've like put time limits on like certain apps. Like, okay, you can only spend 2 hours a day total for fucking Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, like and YouTube. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't.
And then it
spend-
kicks you off
on
or
your
notifies
social.
you.
It notifies you. You can have it different. I mean, like there's some times where like I'll be on there and then like I'm like, oh shit, I gotta make a post. So
Yeah.
I'll just like hit ignore for a minute.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
Make a post real quick.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then-
Because you were just chilling on there, and then you're like, "Oh wait, that's right. I got to do some shit. Hold up. Like, hey,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
hey, don't count that. Hold on, let me send that. Okay, now we good.
Yeah, screen time was high for a bit there.
Does it ever
yeah.
feel unhealthy?
Oh
or-
yeah, totally.
Okay, yeah.
Because then like if you're on my sometimes like I'll wake. It's always in the morning too. Like when I'll wake up, and then I'll like check my phone. I'm like, dude, I've been on my phone just chilling here for like an hour and a half straight, like not doing anything.
Yeah.
I could have been responding to emails or text messages or
I know, and you're
whatever.
on your phone. All that's there. Too.
Yeah, I'm just
it's
like
all there.
Yeah, and then like
scroll.
isn't it weird too? Because like you'll be doing that, and then someone will walk in the room, and you'll kind of look up, and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm sending an email right now."
I almost feel guilty. Yeah.
And then you're just like, they're like, "What are you doing?" You're like, "Sending emails." And then deep
Yeah.
down, you're just like, "I'm not sending emails."
No, bro. It's
I'm not trying to lie because I am about to send this email. But then as soon as they leave, like something will distract you, and it's just so fucking powerful.
Listen, my phone is addictive, so it's not just
no it's
social media, right?
Oh, you'll go
because I
from
can do
different-
anything on my phone, right? I'm like, oh yeah, let me check the Robin Hood real quick. Hold on, let me, my bank app's on here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on, let me use the calculator.
What's my credit score, bro?
What's my credit score? I got that one too. Hold on, what's Credit Karma? Is it budged at all?
He said my bank app's on here, like he's justifying it.
Bro, you try to not use Instagram for a while, bro. You just start like, yeah, what's that credit score? Like you checked it earlier today. It's the same, bro. That's what it is. What the fuck? Like you trying to refresh your credit score feed. Like, what do we got? Come on.
I got Bitcoin on this motherfucker. That's why I'm on here. No one's asking you why you're on your phone.
I just lost $12 in Dogecoin. Thank you very much. Okay, cool. That was a great app. Sweet. Now let's go to something else. Yeah, no, it's terrible, dude. There's everything. And then there's text. and my mom wants to FaceTime with the kid. You just can't get away from the phone. The phone is always, that pinky is doomed. That's holding all the weight of this phone that we're holding, dude. I know I'm gonna have some type of crippling arthritis in this fucking right-handed pinky right here. God damn it,
I'm
dude.
so jealous of that guy that you send a text to and you know he got it, or because you've seen him get text before where he's like,
Yeah, he's like, I'll get to it.
you know, and he gets to it.
He's like, I got a time of
And
day
he
that
does
I look
get
at my
to it.
No, there's
Yeah,
people, he
but
flips
like
his
I'm one
phone
of those.
open.
Yeah, I'm one of those people where if I straight up like look at the message and set it down, like that's gone.
You're forgetting.
Oh,
that's
for
me.
sure.
No, I can't open it.
That too, bro.
You know
Don't
what?
open it. It's got to still be unread.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
keep
that
it
guy
unread.
who gets to all those messages at the end of the day because now's not the time, I'm always like, you fucking got it, dude. Like, you fucking got this
That's
shit
because he
down.
uses his phone as a phone.
Yeah, for real. Like,
That's
he
it.
uses it. He
It's a
doesn't allow
tool,
people
not
to use it at
entertainment.
him. Like, yeah.
And that's where the entertain, dude. Too many apps, man.
Yeah.
But
I'm the same way, dude. Like when I have to respond like immediately, or I have to leave it unread, because if
I
I
have to leave it unread.
yeah,
Yeah.
because if I open it, like I'm not responding until they send me a follow up text like, "Hey, bro, what the fuck?"
You know
And I'm
when you
like,
send
dude, sorry,
when you open it and you're just like, fuck.
Yep.
I have to respond now. I
Yep.
have to use my brain
Yeah.
and read this and like.
I love hitting people with the I'll get back to you, you know, or like they'll throw an offer out and they'll be like, hey, you want to come up for dinner on this day? And I'll be like, I'll get back to you on that. And like realistically, I won't compute it, but like they need to know I got the message or got it. I said got it a lot.
No, because there's a lot of weird kind of assumptions people will make now. He didn't respond.
Yeah,
Right
there
away. Oh, he
is.
read it. He read it. He didn't respond. Oh, it's been
Yeah.
10 minutes. Does he mad at me?
The
Oh, is it-
anxiety, bro.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it all breeds anxiety, like for sure.
You're right.
How'd
Yeah.
they
you
do that?
You delete Facebook. You're like, all right, I'm deleting Facebook. I'm done with it. And
Yeah.
then some of the homies are like, why'd you delete me on Facebook, bro? Like, no, I
not
didn't.
personal,
Yeah, I didn't
dude.
delete you
Yeah.
on. I just deleted
I
Facebook.
deleted me on Facebook.
Yeah, bro. So everybody's going through what you're going through. But you really, people will think. They're just like, oh, fuck. And like, okay, check this out. Funny story, dude. I'm going to tell it again when he gets on here. But Zeroni, you guys know Zeroni, right?
That's my guy,
Great dude, right? Wanted to get him on the podcast. Sent him a message a year ago, right? Never responded to it.
Oh, no.
Right? I was like, fuck, okay. And then some time went by and he was, he's doing, obviously always doing dope shit. So I was looking, I was like, man, this dude follow everybody but me. Does this dude not like me? And then I ended up reacting to one of his posts today, like one of his story posts. And he was like, dude, I just saw this fucking message from a year ago. I'd fucking love to be on the what the fuck? I suck at social media. So it's like the whole time you're just thinking like, oh man, this motherfucker just doesn't like me, man. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get him on my podcast. He's just like, fuck you. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then the whole time he's just like, oh, I didn't even see the shit. Like,
It's
Yeah.
funny. Him and I are so similar in that way. Like, I'll text him like, "Hey, can we link up and do this?" And then he won't text me back for like 2 months, and he'll be like, "Hey, let's do this week." I'm like, "Bet, let's do it." And then he'll be like, "Hey, are you free next week?" And then I'll text him a month later, be like, "Dude, sorry, I missed this."
See,
then,
and that's when you
It's so
get that.
weird.
Yeah, you just got to get, really it's given, switching from that reactive assumption to that benefit of the doubt. Like I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt to just be like, oh man, people busy, people doing things, not just be like jumping to conclusions. But that's what,
It's what we do.
it's the constant battle to wanting to be a balanced person through music, romantic relationships, endeavors, financial endeavors, friendships, right? It really is this like almost this constant balancing act of trying not to lean too far one way and then you start getting out of whack.
And getting called something. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're leaning too far one way and it's like you get like boxed in. So it's just like you want to kind of be in all the, it's like I'm well-rounded.
Yeah.
And I want to be well-rounded,
Yeah.
It's like you want to work on music, but you want to be a good man to your partner. I want to be a good dad,
Me
but then I
too.
want to be a good friend,
Yeah.
but then I also need my personal space and
Yeah, it's challenging.
It's
you
hard
know?
to balance for sure.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just the constant, and that's what every person is going through in the world.
Yeah.
They're just all trying
And then
to
when we
figure this
when we
shit out.
text them and they don't respond, we're like, dick. And we forget they're balancing everything.
No, we forget so much. We're
crazy.
so hard on each other, guys. Like, let's just
I
all,
know.
like, every single time you think that somebody is, you know, you jump to conclusions, it's like somebody's just dealing with some shit. Somebody's just, you know, they're processing, and it doesn't even need to be some like, oh, there's a death in the family. Oh, there's like some big shit happening. It's just like little things, just like you versus you shit.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like, it doesn't have anything to do. Like, people don't, oh, what did I do? Is it me? Your girl's like, oh, is it me? Like, what? It's just like, I'm fucking struggling with me. You know, I'm struggling being okay with just me. And like, just like we were just saying, trying to let go of shit that we're like, look, stop. It's okay for like this not to work out, for you to feel like, whatever today. It's okay.
Yeah.
That's how it goes, you know? And like, I'd be like always trying to feel good.
Yeah.
And so, you know,
and it's like, it's okay to not feel good. Yeah, it's okay to have different emotions. You don't have to be happy all the time.
Yeah, it's actually just normal.
That's like psychosis.
To
like,
just be-
straight up. To be like,
Fucking happy to be here, bruh.
I know.
You're right, dude. Or sad all the time too. You know, I see some motherfuckers where every time I see him, I'm like, you know what happened to me, dude? I'm just like, I bet. You know, and it's just like, look, shit's happening to everybody. Every single person in this room is going through some daily adversities. And that's what's crazy too. Like we were saying on social media, you just see people and they're just like, oh man, you're just killing it. And you don't know, like, I'm fucking struggling, bro, this week. Or I got anxiety crazy this week. So yeah, man. Let's all just be nice to each other, man. And thank you for just making some of the most beautiful music in this city, hands down. But like, I think that you have a sound that just travels worldwide, and it just hasn't made it there yet. But it's your music is built for that. You know, this is the 60s to our 2023 right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To where it's like people in the future can listen to it and be like, God damn, this is fire. And that's the cool thing about music, man, is it's always like, it doesn't matter if it's old. If you haven't heard it, it's new to you.
yeah.
And come on, man. Film, music, art, all that, man.
Lots of value.
Lots of value in that.
Yeah, dude.
I agree. I also agree. I think your music's great.
Thanks. I appreciate it, man.
What else do you want to talk to the people about, Blake?
Shit, I don't know. Yeah, we're working on new music. Like I said, we're doing. We should have.
And when you say we, who's the band? Who are we talking about here?
It's like the core group is me, Tristan Hart Pierce, my guitar player, Eddie Ramirez, my bass player, and then Juan Paris, my drummer. And then there's like some other cats like Dre Davis, like we'll hit up and he'll do drums for us, or like hit up AJ, Eddie's nephew, to play drums.
Pull in some people that you know to
the
kind of
homies.
add to it.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, like if there's a vibe, like I'll listen. Like for Starting Over, we use Dre instead of Juan because it just like it lent to Dre's like style a little bit.
There we
more,
go, yeah.
You know, and it's fun to collaborate with different people. You know, but like at the core of it, it's usually Tristan and I, and then Eddie usually always plays bass, and then Juan is usually involved a lot as well. Yeah.
So these guys all have Instagram or what?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I want to follow all of them.
Well, no, Juan doesn't.
Juan.
I was just gonna say
Juan
does
exists
not-
exists as a hashtag, Juan Paris, and then whatever presidential year it is coming up next, that's the year. So it's right now it's Juan Paris 2024.
No, here's the thing. I got
this on purpose?
Well, every time I'm like, hey, yo, when are you gonna make an Instagram,
he
bro?
won't do that,
No, he goes,
right?
I'll do it in 2020, dude. And I'm like, what do you? All right, bet we'll do it in 2020. 2020 rolls up. I'm like, 2024. He goes, yeah, do 2024.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
I got a quick 10-second about Juan. The guy, I've known Juan for a very long time.
You know Juan?
I've known him for
Oh,
a
yeah.
long ass time.
Yeah,
I'm sure
dude.
he's told, he's like, I know Cody. I've known him for a long ass time, and he's always been like in my ear, and like he is the most music is like in his blood, and like playing drums is just like it like does something to the room when Juan's like playing the drums. It is the most steady, easy to create thing ever, and I love the fucking guy. We used to hang out in Brown's Edition daily, and all the stories I have of Juan is like we'd all be sitting there smoking, and he'd roll up with no weed, but he has a bunch of hash somehow. It's like what the fuck? And so we unroll the joint and like put a straw of hash in there. And yeah, that's Juan for
Juan
you.
was bringing the hash.
I fucking love it. And travel, he used to have this little Subaru with like all his gear in it. And I'm like, Juan, that shit's gonna get stolen,
Look, dude.
The Outback, bro.
Dudes who roll up to the session with hash and not weed don't have Instagrams.
For real. No, that's a good example because that is the guy too. This is also someone you never had to call to show up. He would just come rolling up.
Just
Like
there,
back in the
yeah.
day, you'd just be like, this is like what before like shit got crazy.
Dude, that is fire that you have a bandmate that literally just exists as a hashtag on the internet. So you can
the
still
most
find
genuine
him.
dude ever.
He's got some drumming videos on there and shit, like some shit at all, or is there
Nothing, dude. Just like whatever I've tagged him in.
Yeah.
That hashtag.
So there's some
pretty
shit
much.
on there.
And it's also the type of person that's constantly lifting up and like never trying to gear a situation down,
Which is
which I
why-
fucking love one.
Why is fitting right in?
I'm like,
love
bro, I want him to have an Instagram so bad though. I'm like, bro, I will run your Instagram
Because it's those
for you.
personalities that don't
Yeah.
have Instagrams that
But-
you're like, ah,
I'm like,
Yes.
I have so much content of you, dude, just from you acting a fool on my phone. On
So what you need
whatever.
to do is you just needed to start the Not Juan Instagram.
A
There,
fan page.
there
of
we
one,
go.
dude,
I was
yeah.
just gonna say, like, keep him out of it and be like, the people have fucking spoken, Juan.
Juan, you have 26,000 followers.
on your hashtag.
Yeah.
We should start a page for you.
Yeah.
I've always wondered this actually. So have you speaking of like collaborations, have you ever collabed on a hip hop song, and would you?
Oh God, I think.
I guess I'll say a hip hop song that's been released.
Do you know Bendy?
Yeah.
So I went to high school with Bendy, and
Oh,
I
wow.
sang when I was actively doing like Facebook cover, like that version of myself.
Yeah.
Like I knew nothing about music. He asked me to sing on a hook for like a SoundCloud song. I don't think it's up, but there's somewhere in the world like I have a.
If you put those two names together, maybe.
Yeah. There's something where it's like I can't remember the name of the song.
Oh,
or
trust me,
any-
I'm gonna find if it's out there. I'm gonna find
gonna
it when I
find
get
it.
home.
Just so you know, like it's not good. Like
Yeah,
what
well.
I'm doing is not the greatest, but it's out there.
Listen,
so
bro.
I think that's probably it.
You could find a lot of shit that's not good from a lot of us out here.
Totally.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, you go back to 2012, we were doing a lot of shit that we were just doing. You know, we were just doing it.
Yeah.
But to kind of like add to that, so you would you
yeah.
kind of in the future?
I love hip hop, bro.
Ah.
Yeah, and like I make beats like at home, but just for myself. Like I just am like kind of sitting on them. I
feel like in
doing
real
it.
time, this is like a change in Matisse.
Oh, we could
Blake
collab.
Braley
We could probably
right
we could
now.
come over and kick it and smoke.
and I have to be the third person to just be like, this is what this is,
Yeah.
kind of.
No, I really, because as far as like what we like to do too, it's right in the kind of that same. We really love that soul. We really love a lot of that.
I
same
mean,
shit.
you like the old school samples, like Isley Brothers samples and stuff like that,
Oh,
because that's like where I like the hip hop. I like all sorts of hip hop, but like what I love to do is like the real instruments.
Yeah.
Like J. Cole does some stuff like that.
Yeah, I
Kendrick,
mean,
To
fucking
Pimp a Butterfly is all
right,
like,
all just real
yeah.
production. And when we did After the Rain, that one we have a music video to,
Mm-hmm.
and Donuts made the beat. We got Donuts on the podcast next week,
Mm-hmm.
and Donuts, that's what he do, man. He's like, oh wait, hold
Did it all.
up, let me get the tambourine real quick.
he's got
Let me get the shakers.
he can do like the real Dilla drums,
Yeah.
like the slug beats where it's like
Yes. Yeah, dude. Yeah, and you know, I mean, the hardest part for a rapper, I feel like, is the production. Like a lot of rapper, like me, I don't produce. And so that's why I just am so big on lifting up producers, because they're one half of what we do.
totally, yeah.
You know? And like if you can do it all yourself, cool, but like it's definitely that's where you could get stuck as a rapper, is because we can't just play the keys. I can't really find the groove. I have to like like one of my guys gotta like kind of hit me with some new shit. Like we had DJ Exodus on the podcast, and he fucking hit my inbox, hit me with a sample from the Floaters, Float On, right? Float on.
Yeah.
He hit me with one of those, and I was like, oh, this is sick, dude. So it's like all of a sudden now you're reinvigorated to want to, get after it, but then it's like kind of you be in a slump because it's just like
You can't do it yourself.
I don't have it. I need that to get me. Like that's the part that's the cream to my coffee. That's the coffee though. I'm just the cream. That's almost how I feel. Right. The production is like the real deal, and like I'm just the person that comes through afterwards and says, not that my job isn't important, but it wouldn't exist without
the music,
without
part,
the
like
music, the production part.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
love to all the producers out there, including yourself, because I bet you some of them beats are just fucking stupid silly, just sitting on some little loops, some fire little beats.
I'll send you some. You know who's got some beats though is Dre.
Does he?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you gotta hit up Dre, bro.
No, that's right, because he sent some over to TS.
TS, yeah,
and
man.
TS was like, dude, I gotta, he was
DJ
like,
Spicy Ketchup, bro.
dude, fucking Spicy Ketchup, dude. DJ Spicy Ketchup is another person that's super fucking underrated. He actually has
Great producer.
he has
Super
an EP out, dude. It's like a little bit older. It's like 2020 maybe, and it's songs you
Mike's
can
on it,
dance
right?
to. And Mike's on it. TS is on it.
Yeah.
I started this fucking playlist called Algorithm Northwest playlist. It's hip hop Northwest. Go check it out on Spotify, and yeah, man, like that shit, that's underrated, man. Like I see people, they got like fucking 12 monthly listeners, 20 monthly listeners. I'm just like, dude, people need to hear this shit.
Yeah.
This is fire. So that's where the fire is in me too, is to like, man, like I want 1 million people to listen to you. I want because it's crazy when you think about like how far your reach is, and then you think about how many people would just love your music. If just somehow.
That's kind of depressing at a certain point.
It can be if you're an artist, because you're obviously just like,
People would love this. Why aren't they? It's like,
because
fuck.
somebody in Illinois chilling on a farmhouse would hear Blake Braley come on the radio, as it would happen back in the day on their little fucking, and then fucking Blake, and they would be like, if it feels like, you would just start, and you'd be like, oh shit, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? And
That
now,
was it.
now it's hard to get in front of. It's hard to kind of just stumble. Like you can stumble upon music. There's just so much,
Yeah.
So I guess that's the challenge. But it's just inspiring to me. Look, everybody is in a different hometown, and they have hometown heroes doing amazing shit. And this is just one of my hometown heroes right here, dude. So I appreciate you coming on and showing some love and chatting with us, man. And let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, you
everywhere.
can listen to my music wherever you listen to music. Blake Braley, Braley. On Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. So go check it out. Listen to Starting Over.
Brand new.
Yeah, brand new.
Yes, brand new to you because you haven't heard it. Okay, we're gonna throw it right here, wherever my finger's at. It's gonna just right there. Okay, and go listen to that. Okay, because it's gonna change your mood. If you're feeling kind of, it's gonna make you feel good. If you're already feeling good, then oof, it's gonna feel like Friday, baby.
We gonna start that out?
And we're gonna start that app. We're gonna start that app. Blake Braley will be like the U2, and like remember when they like on the iPhones and shit.
Yeah, when would Blake come on? Blake would come on like in the morning, drinking your coffee.
Oh, for sure.
The chill vibes.
Yeah. It's like
Could be evening too, though.
Could be evening. All of a sudden,
siesta time.
There
yes,
we go.
exactly. Kick back, relax. Well, hey, man, thank you so much, man, and. I look forward to what you guys are going to be putting out. The shows that you guys you're doing. How often are you at Zola?
We're there. My band's there every Saturday, pretty much from 9 to midnight.
9 to midnight, Zola. If you don't know where it's at, it's kind of like it's like downtown and kind of a nice little cool spot next to like the Saranac, and it's kind of like right around the corner from the Fast Eddie's and Baracho, stuff like that. So it's just like kind of right down there in the heart of Spokane. Look up Zola, go find us. Saturday nights, 9 to midnight and beyond, baby. We got Blake Braley with us, guys. We love y'all.
Peace. Be nice. Don't be an asshole.
Yo, I'm just happy to be here, breathing this fresh air, living my best life, even when the shit ain't fair, even when the love ain't there. Yo, I'm just happy to be here, smoking some good weed, not thinking what could be. I'm just here in the right now, doing me till it's lights out. Yo, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, cause I know that shit could be worse. So what I spit in these verses gon' make some history first.
Show 'em I'm happy to be here, I'm living my best life.
Yo, you living without fear,
You wonder what that's like
like a breath of some fresh air.
Yo, I'm just happy to be here.
Your mind is powerful. Use that shit.
Yes, I smoke.
Yeah, I do.
I rarely drink, but these drives gon' make me think. I got these walls all around me, but they're starting to drop. I'm getting all these weird feelings like my head gonna pop. Gotta hear what's coming up on the turnaround. Always know what's up after coming down.
Never really knew myself until the trip occurred to me. Blinded by the public mass, the feeling instability. Puffin' OG crystal leaf, lick the rapid folder crease. Wait a minute, hold it, freeze. Was choked up at the hit this beat. Most certainly a different breed. Coming up from the LSD, a loner with a lot of friends. That's really kinda hard to see. So why you gotta bother me? Why you gotta threaten? It's just a little herb. I don't even own a weapon. Still, I'm always protecting, but that slowed down my movement. The beat dropped, the bass hit, third eye out consuming. My mind fried and blooming. The bass can't stop booming. To all you, I'm fooling. Off these nuts, stop the mooching. For I am just searching for just one person. Retain all the lurking, ignore all the flirting. This life, I picked the part, I threw the dart to hit the heart, no knife. To cut me apart, there must be part where I can start to fight. This power that's been building up inside me, loosely feel me so enlightening. Think I found my master sighting? Oh, that's right. I walked down that limestone path, ain't got my shoes on, just my toes stuck in the grass. I turned that bridge from my past, cause what's done is done. It's all about who you know. Learn that from dope back son. Bitches with both legs buns had me too hopeless to run. That all flip once I put those drips under my tongue.